What is up again, dudes? And I apologize in advance, but it's been forever since y'all been wanting a Titan build, and I finally finished it. I think I got every piece of armor there is in the game according to Destiny database. I know what the highest mobility and recovery is to get the best recharge rates, and just how the flow of strikes happen. I really only tested it on nightfalls because some of the stuff isn't going to make sense really on regular heroic strikes. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, because those are easy, and anything higher than, you know, nightfall and up can be a little bit more difficult. The ads push you a little more, so I had to balance those recharge rates out, plus my recovery, my agility. You know, you couldn't really waste a lot of mod slots because of the high resilience the game has, so to get my mobility and recovery up, that was kind of a challenge. So as always with any build that I have, unless noted otherwise, your subclass, your exotic, and your weapons are all your personal preference. I'm not even going to have any exotics on in this video because I'm just going to give you the basic building blocks of where your stats, your perks, and your mods need to be, and then whatever exotic you choose, it will just make your subclass and your exotic shine even more based on just different nightfall tests and things that I've done to make sure this is the highest survival wrecking gear you can have on. So if you have an exotic piece on that the stats don't match what I have in the video, you may need to alter the stats of other gear to get your mobility and your recovery back right, just so you know. Now let's get started. Alright, starting from the top, the helmet. 1 mobility, 1 resilience, and 1 recovery. You're going to want to put a Paragon mod on that takes you from 36 seconds down to 28 seconds. And believe me, when you're doing nightfalls or harder activities, that 8-second difference really pays off. You're also going to want to do heavy lifting or enhanced heavy lifting. If you have the Reverie Dawn or the Raid armor, it can come on those. But either way, heavy lifting is the fastest supercharging perk in the game, especially when you have a rocket. That kept me from having to use any super mods on this entire build just from having heavy lifting. I was getting my super back in well enough time. But the Paragon mod and getting your rally barricade back or your barricade back, super lifesaver when you're doing harder activities. I was so happy to get it back when it came, dude. It was like sometimes right at the right time. If it would have been any later, I'd have been dead. And it happened a lot. That was a lot of situations where if I wouldn't have had the Paragon mod on, I would have been screwed. So also, you're going to want to do whatever reserve you want to do, or heavy ammo finder, whatever. But if you're going to do any kind of scavenger reserves, make sure it's always reserves, because reserves acts as scavenger, letting you pick up more, and it lets you hold more in the reserve bank. So reserves is always better than scavenger. But above most, the Paragon mod, super key to have, man. I was so thankful to have that on in a lot of situations. So if you got that on, you'll be good to go. 111, enhanced heavy lifting, Paragon mod. Alright, onto the arms. So 0 mobility, 1 resilience, and 2 recovery arms. A grenade charge mod taking you down from 1:22 to about 1:02 seconds. And impact induction, which takes you down even further, around a 30 to 40 second grenade. Any kind of melee hit to the body or melee kill does charge reduction for your grenades, so one of my favorite perks in the game to have. And also for your bottom tree, that's going to be whatever like reserve you want to use or ammo finder you want to use. I'm looking for a shoddy or fusion reserves, but I currently haven't found it. But that's going to be all your personal choice, but make sure you have the other stuff, because those are key to have in this build. Now for the chest piece, 1 mobility, 1 resilience, and a 2 recovery chest piece. Throw an impact mod on it. That's going to be used for melting point, whatever shoulder charge you're using. Even if you have insurmountable school fort on for your exotic, it's not going to help you against bosses, so you're still going to need that charge reduction to get back to melting bosses quick, whether you're doing gambit or doing any kind of strike boss or a nightfall. Getting melting point back is a real key thing to have in PvE. You don't really want to stack them because the diminishing return sucks on it, and you don't want to waste any more mod slots than you have to on a Titan build, because you're pushing it as it is because of the garbage stats that it comes with. So having the 1 on there is better than having 0. That's still 20 seconds saved, and at 20 seconds does come in handy. And then for the 2 perks on your chest piece, I use unflinching energy aim and then special ammo finder, but it's really whatever you want to use on the chest piece. That's kind of like your play style there, so just choose whatever perks match how you play and what you need it for, and then whatever reserve or ammo finder you want to use. Alright, so the legs, you're going to need a 5 mobility leg. That's going to incorporate mobility, 2, traction, adding 1 you can see, 1 hidden one, and a mobility mod. And that's how you're going to get to your 7 mobility on this character. So After that, use whatever reserve you want. I've done this a million times, dude, and I still get people questioning it. So I'm going to show you this. So here it is, 6 in traction, which is basically 7 mobility. 1 you can see, which goes to 6, and then 1 you can't see, making it 7. Now you see as I'm jumping to that small plate, the helmet's getting right underneath the small plate. You see that, right? This is all one take, so there's no cuts, no nothing like that. You can even hear the music from the game. Alright, now we're going to go to a 7 mobility without traction. So we just had 6 with traction. Now we're going with 7 without traction. And the jump height is exactly the same because, again, traction adds 1 you can see on the number slot of mobility and then 1 hidden one on top of that. This is some gameplay. This is like 1 out of a million situations that would happen. You get ads from 2 different sides, so you would throw your barricade up. And then of course you defend it. Then you use it to kill the other ad. You know, simple situation or whatever. But this is how key it is to have that Paragon mod, especially when you're trying to do things kind of fast, like charge these plates before they expire. And we're gonna run over here, bust that dude up. Brawler is on also, so the melee is gonna charge fast, but even faster because I have the impact mod. And bam, I get my freaking barricade right on time. This happens so much, man. I just wanted to like include that in like this video of how important it is. And you can kind of see again how traction works here in just a second. There's the mobility right there, getting way out of there. Now watch this. Pop soup, because we're about to get murked. Hit this dude, and we just got our barricade back again. And what a perfect time to have it. Like that 8 seconds you're getting, man, can really matter. And you'll see a lot of situations like that. And I'm even using the barricade now to blind this guy. And now we're gonna mix in traction right here. Miss the rocket because dude goes invis like he always does. Bam, traction, turn right around and hit that dude. But yeah, that's just one of millions of situations that happen when you're doing Nightfall tier stuff or higher. And that's only 2 things the build's doing. That's traction and the Paragon mod. Moving on, you have the Mark. That's a mobility mod on that to get your 7 mobility. And then you top it off with the Recuperation, so when you touch an orb, your health is automatically put back. You don't have to wait for the recharge rate of it. And then I'm building around rockets, so rocket reserves with the heavy lifting going on there. If you don't know what Recuperation is, I'll go ahead and show you. This is cropped out of another video that I made. You see the health immediately gets put back. And then here's better already, where you can still actually die, because if you're getting pinked away by Nightfall tier enemies while your meter's trying to charge, you can still get killed by that. So yeah, dude, this build is completely ready all the time. It's built for just episodes that happen all the time in strikes. You know, the charge rate is in perfect tune with it basically, so you always have it going on. You got the impact mod to get your melting point, you get the traction spin around stuff, the maneuvering. If you're flying around a corner in air, you can jet left or right as soon as you land. All kinds of things, the heavy lifting. I mean, just this whole thing revolves kind of around itself. And you really can't afford to move any other mods around or go up or down, because then you lose so much by doing that. So it's a perfect balance of just how things play out. Right here, if you want to become an escape artist, you can jump off of your Sparrow and do this. With mobility, you can do little tricks like this, you know, like make it all the way to the top off of your Sparrow without getting hit. And then your, you know, lightweight Titan strafing through a high heat combat zone. Lightweight Titans are beast. Only thing holding them back is the little T-Rex arms. But yeah, it's super beast, man. Thing is always ready. You can even get like more rocket shots while you're in the air jumping. Like situations like this where you dump a rocket and then you're just high enough to get the second rocket off. Like I would have killed myself if I'd have been at 6 right there. So it's like stuff like that isn't always going to be used, but it's always there, and it's because of the fact that it's on your build that those situations can happen. You know what I mean? So pretty cool stuff, man. But if you do get the build, man, let me know what you think in the comments below. I think that you'll enjoy it. I've been enjoying it. I just can't wait to get my right reserve mods, you know, out and stuff. And I wouldn't mind getting a rifle unflinching instead of it being energy unflinching for the chest piece. Unflinching rifle would still be cool. But it's pretty much done as far as like the main mods. I just gotta get my reserves and things tailored. But hope y'all enjoyed it, dude. I will catch y'all in the next one in space.